Hi gamers, Coach Callie here, and in today's lesson of the game of Rocket League, we will be examining another hallmark of the game, the 50-50. Our goal is as you work your way through this guide, you'll be able to properly choose when to take 50s, how to win them, and how to make the ball go where you want it to. By the end of this lesson, viewers will be able to understand the concept of 50-50s and implement them into your own gameplay. Rocket League plays very quickly the higher up in the ranks you go. A professional 3v3 match moves at light speed, even compared to a Supersonic Legend game of 3v3. In these games, it may seem like the pros are simply booming the ball back and forth across the field in the hopes of creating a scoring opportunity, but in reality, they're following special strategies that they develop before the game. Sometimes, you may have noticed the ball comes to a dead stop in the middle of the field. This is most common on kickoffs, but it can also happen when two players go for the same ball and are positioned facing each other. When they make contact with the ball, a 50-50 occurs. It is called a 50-50 because in ideal circumstances, each player stands about a 50-50 chance of hitting the ball where they want it to go. To practice the idea of taking a 50-50, head into a casual match of 1v1 and use kickoff as a way to practice. Part of the skill set in a Rocket League player comes from knowing when and how to take a 50-50 properly. Focus on making solid contact with the ball and angling your car to catch a potential touch from your opponent. Simply hitting the ball with the roof of your car and making a good head-on touch is usually sufficient. Hop into free play to drill this first, and then play another game of casual 1v1. This time, try to create opportunities where you and your opponent will arrive at the ball at the same time. Don't overthink it, and don't worry about losing the game overall. Play 3 games and then try to force at least 3 50-50s per game. In the last drill, did you notice that there were times when you would get to the ball faster but the opponent still got the better touch? This can sometimes happen where the ball will be struck initially but then ricochet off of the second player, and since the second player has finished their touch, they are unable to stay with the ball and redirect it back where it needs to be. For the next drill, try to see how many kickoffs and 50s you can outright win. Practice reading your opponent and try to time your touch to be the second man to touch the ball. I want you to do this 75% of the game this time. This will almost always allow you to get the touch you want and send the ball in your preferred direction. You can use the casual 3v3 playlist for this, as it will allow you to make contact with more balls and more players. Now, think about what happens in all those times in a game where you are challenging the ball on the ground and the opponent got the better of the challenge. Take what you've practiced in the last 3 drills and apply them to ground 50-50s in game. If you do everything correctly, you should understand how to both win and lose a 50. If you haven't quite gotten there, here's a tip. If you want to win, try to see where the opponent is positioned from. If they're coming from the left side of the ball, go to the same side so you can force the ball on the opposing side of their car. If you want to lose, try to either meet them head on and not flip, or make contact with the ball using a side flip on the opposing side of the ball from where you want it to go. So go ahead and use these to your advantage, as most players will simply hurl themselves into the ball. If you can successfully stop their ball and divert it back to the side of the field, this will open up much more space for your team to score. Now go ahead and implement this for one casual game of 3v3. For the Scrim with a Purpose section today, now get creative with your touches. Try to see what it takes to send the ball left, right, up, straight, flat, or around opponents. Challenges are one of the most complex concepts for players to master, but once you have a solid understanding of how both ball and car move in space, you'll be well on your way to becoming a challenge master. There is often nothing more frustrating than playing against someone who can simply win every single challenge. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to take basic challenges and understand what taking a 50-50 means in the game of Rocket League. While I don't expect everyone who watches this video to come away an expert, we all know everything takes time, and you should be able to win a challenge, lose a challenge, and send a ball in a particular way in a challenge depending on the game scenario you find yourself in. If you can't do these things by the end of the video and the end of the drill set, that's why this is a workout opportunity. It's your chance to work through things and improve. Keep playing and these skills will come naturally to you. Once again, I'm Coach Callie. Take care and peace, gamers.